Your home edition of Math is Still Math. Today we're going to be diving into the world of geometry, talking about area and volume of a bunch of different shapes. Let's get right into it and start with probably the most important shape, the circle. And we can't start talking about circles unless we talk about pi. So pi is the symbol I'm going to draw here. It looks like an 11 with a weird hairdo on it. Essentially, pi is the ratio of a circle's diameter to its circumference. The distance around any circle's ratios out with the size of its diameter, no matter how big the circle is. And pi, we can do a whole video on pi another time. For the sake of this video, you can either use pi as a key on your calculator, or what I'm going to do is use the universal rounded form of it, which is 3.14. So here's the formula for the area of a circle. So the area of a circle is going to be pi, that's 3.14, r to the second power. More lovingly written down as pi r squared. All we have to do is multiply the ratio pi, which is 3.14, times the radius to the second power. Quick little review. When I say the radius to the second power, that means you're going to multiply 1 times the radius times the radius. You need to multiply it 2 times because it's a power of 2. So let's look at this example. Right here, I'll highlight this with orange. This distance right here, that's a radius. The radius is the distance from the center of a circle to the outer edge. So we know the radius of our circle is 8.6 inches. Okay, now it's r squared, so I need to multiply that again. And we take all of that and just multiply it times pi, which is 3.14. Actually, this was smart. I'll do that. So, 3.14 times 8.6 times 8.6. That'll give us the area of this circle. Waiting on my calculator to boot up. There it is. Alright, here we go. Okay, so 3.14 times 8.6 times 8.6 equals, okay, so I get 232.23 and it went on to say more for generally speaking, most instructions will tell you on which place I need to round your answer. Most of the time when I make an assessment, I like the 10th place. So if we were going to round it to the 10th place, here's where our answer would be. Now we're going to look next door and decide, does it round up? And we have a 3 as our next door neighbor, so no, it's not enough to round up. So the answer for this one will be 232 and 2/10 inches squared. That's what I say the answer is. That's the area of a circle. You take pi times the radius squared. That's pi times the radius times the radius. And you get your answer. Let's move on to another shape. Okay, so here we have a cylinder. Now a cylinder is a 3D shape that starts as a circle. The base is a circle, and then it extends in what we call the height measurement. So looking at this one here, you can see our circle. I can get my marker out. Okay, so you can see the circle right here is the base of our shape. So interestingly enough, the volume of a cylinder starts with the area of the base. Okay, so we're going to be doing the base. Oh, that looks horrible. Okay, so we're going to do base times height. That's the goal. Now the base of our circle, the base is a circle. And as you just watched me do, the area of a circle is found through the formula of pi r squared. Okay, so we're going to start by doing the exact calculation we just learned how to do, which is find the area of the circle. And then we just have to multiply it times the height. That's it. So in this case, it looks like, okay, so we've got pi. Change my color. Okay, so pi. So we're going to do 3.14 times the radius. And it turns out the radius is right here. It's 4 inches. But it's the radius squared, so we need to do it twice. So 3.14 times 4 times 4. So we'll do all that first. And then we'll just multiply that product by 13. Because that's the height of the cylinder. That's it. So 3.14 times 4 times 4 times 13 is going to get 653 and 12 hundredths. 653 and 12 hundredths. Let me double check that. Yeah. And that would be inches to the third power. Now we're using 3 dimensions here. And of course, if I rounded it, it would be 653 and 1/10, but I'll leave it as is for now. So that's all you have to do to find the volume of the cylinder. You find the area of the base, which is a circle, and multiply it times the height. And that gives you the volume, the total capacity of the shape. Let's try a different shape that also involves a circle. Okay, so this shape is called a cone. Just like the cylinder, it has a base that is a circle. So pi is going to come in here somewhere. It turns out the volume of this, a right cone, is as follows. You're going to multiply fix my marker. Alright, so the volume of a cone is 1/3 of a base times the height. Is 1/3 base times height. Now remember, the base is this circle. That is key. You have to understand the base of the shape is the circle. So that means we're going to do 1/3 times our area formula for circle, which was our first shape we did today. So that'd be pi r squared times the height. So let's just replace those values. So 1/3 is still 1/3 times pi, which is 3.14, times our radius, which is 3. But we got an exponent, so we have to multiply it twice. Times the height, which we have is 10. So 1/3 times 3.14 times 3 times 3 times 10. Now, some of you are going to notice immediately that when you want to put this into a calculator, you got a bit of a problem. How am I supposed to type in 1/3? Okay, so we have to take a small departure and discuss this, okay? So right now, you got two options. Here's my calculator. So let's say you're using a 4-function calculator. 1/3 is 1 divided by 3. So when you start this process, the order of operations says that multiplication and division have the same priority, so we're just going to go left to right, and this division comes first. So you would just type in 1 divided by 3, get the long decimal, times 3.14 times 3 times 3 times 10, and voila. The whole answer, the whole shebang bang, is 94 2/10 meters cubed. 94 2/10 meters cubed. Sweet! Three-dimensional shape that doesn't have a circle involved, so no pies for this one. This is called a right rectangular prism. Is the closest thing to a Lego block you're ever gonna get. To calculate this one, it's very simple, and I'm hoping a lot of you already know it. You're gonna multiply the length times the width times the height. That is how you find the volume of a right rectangular prism. And they've already given you 3 numbers on this problem. So all we have to do is multiply the length, which is 8, times the width, which is 4, times the height, which is 6. And just for the record, it doesn't really matter which one you call the length, which one you call the width, which one you call the height. As long as you're getting all 3 of the dimensions, you're fine. The commutative property says if we rearrange these, we're still going to get the same answer. So 8 times 4 times 6. Excuse me. 8 times 4 times 6. Bada bing, bada boom is 192. That'd be 192 units squared. No, units to the third power. Three dimensions, third power. That's it. Length times width times height is the volume of a rectangular prism. There's one more shape I'd like to go over, but unfortunately we're going to go back to using circles. It's called a sphere. Okay, so a sphere is a 3D shape a lot of you are familiar with. Play any kind of a sport, basketball, soccer, softball, anything with a round object, you understand what a sphere is. So the formula for a sphere is as follows. Yes, pi will be involved. Okay, so it's 4/3 pi, we knew it was coming, r to the third power. 4/3 pi r to the third power. So again, here's the beauty of it though. The only thing we need to figure out is what is the radius of this circle, and then we have everything else we need to find its volume. So this problem is a little tricky though. They gave us this line and said it's 12 centimeters, but is that a radius? No, it's not. This line goes all the way across the circle. That's a diameter. So you have to be smart enough to realize I only went half. I only went half that line because a diameter is 2 radius put together. So half of that, well, if the diameter is 12, that means that our radius is 6. But once we figure that out, we're going to do 4 divided by 3 times 3.14 times 6 times 6 times 6. So we've got fraction here, pi here, and the radius 3 times, because of that exponent, 1, 2, 3. And that should give us the right answer. The volume of this sphere will be I need a smaller calculator. Okay, so 4/3, 4 divided by 3, times pi, times 3.14, times 6, times 6, times 6. Okay, so the volume of this sphere is 904. What did that say? 904 and 32 hundredths centimeters cubed. That is its total capacity. So that sphere holds that much space in centimeters cubed. So that concludes my review of all our shapes. We did the area of a circle, the volume of a cylinder, the volume of a right rectangular prism, the volume of a cone, and also the volume of a sphere. I hope this tutorial has been helpful, and remember, math is still math.